Welcome to For Book Lovers Only Television, your source for in-depth author interviews. For Book Lovers Only Television is a proud member of the Village Connector Media Network. If you love books, we have a home for you. Now time for your host and chief book lover, Rob Brown.
Hello, book lovers and book fans, and welcome to For Book Lovers Only Television, where if you love books, we have a home for you. My name is Rob Brown, your internet television host and chief book lover. Today we have a very distinguished guest in our studios. He is a U.S. Naval Academy graduate, a naval combat aviator who's held several positions, senior staff positions in Washington, D.C. Now, after he retired from the military, he held several positions in aerospace systems engineering and Fortune 500 companies. He's written a book, Leaders Are Made, Not Born. We want to welcome to our studios Dr. Michael Farlow. Here at For Book Lovers Only, we really roll out the red carpet for our veterans, so I want to thank you so much for your service.
Yeah.
So, your book, Leaders Are Made, Not Born, 40 Simple Skills to Make You the Leader You Want to Be. Tell us, what motivated you to write the book?
Well, actually, that book was in preparation for a long time. Probably 8 years before I actually wrote it in various forms. Leadership has always been of interest to me, and one of the last companies I was in, I observed people failing because their leadership skills weren't keeping pace with their advancement in the company. So I said, okay, I'll drag this old outline out, and with 41 pages long, and started to work on it. And that time also I went back to school, got a PhD in organizational leadership, and that gave me some more impetus to finish it off, and gave me a better background. I thought I knew a lot about it when I started the outline, but found that after going through the PhD program that, well, I didn't know quite as much as I thought. So the combination of watching people fail and wanting to make a difference in their lives, I think, is the primary emphasis for doing it.
I see. I want to kind of go back a little bit. You know, obviously, as a Naval Academy graduate, that's a tremendous accomplishment. You know, very few people can do that. What did you learn about leadership at the Naval Academy and then as a combat fighter pilot in the U.S. Navy?
At the Academy, at least at the time, you were, as you progress through your various years, plebe year, which is the freshman year, your first class year, you're given increasing levels of leadership within the brigade. And you learn the sense of responsibility. You learn a sense of importance in what you're involved in, and wanting to make sure that you and your team do not only what's right, but that you accomplish what it is you wanted to accomplish. So the Naval Academy gave us a fairly good ground for those kinds of things. Then you have to get out in the real world and actually practice them. And that's what my time in the Navy taught me. I made mistakes. I learned from them. I got my butt chewed more than once for things that I didn't, and I learned from those. So I think that when I finally got out into the private sector, I told some of my friends that I said, you know, we're really prepared for this. I mean, the competition within our organizations didn't seem like very much because we had such a head start in that regard.
That's a really intriguing. So when you made the transition from the Naval Academy to being in the fleet in the Navy and then from Fortune 500, did you see some of the same challenges with regards to leadership in the civilian and corporate world as well?
Yeah, actually more challenge, because the environment within the most of business communities is less structured than we have experienced while we were in the Navy. And managers, and I say that on purpose because managers aren't necessarily leaders, tend not to have any of those skills, and didn't do the kinds of development things that they needed to do with their people, didn't help them along. And as a matter of fact, some of the statistics show that over 50% of the people who leave a company leave because of management and how they're dealt with. So I found that there were many more people in the private sector who didn't have the experience that I had or the motivations that I had to do what I was doing.
Great.